Hi Biology! This is a quick walkthrough of the Snork activity that you'll be completing on your own. It can seem complicated, but once you know what to do, it actually goes pretty simple and should be pretty fun. So watch this video all the way to the end for the tips that you'll need to be able to do this well and without getting frustrated. Okay, so if we take a look here, we're looking at the Snork activity. These are the Snorks in the upper right-hand corner. Consider them cousins of the Smurfs. They were a spin-off show in the 80s that was not nearly as popular as the Smurfs, but they're pretty fun. They live underwater, and if you're really interested, you can explore YouTube and find all the 80s cartoons that you want to watch, but do this activity first. Okay, so what are you going to need? You've got our goals here in the success criteria. This is what you should be able to do by the time you're done. Little description, and these are your instructions in this video. This is your instructions. So you've got your chart of amino acids here. If you remember, our amino acids assemble together to create a protein, kind of like beads on a string, and then those beads fold up and create a solid protein, and then that protein being the workforce of your cell, it goes out and it does certain things. And so once we have that amino acid strand that we coded from the DNA, we can use that protein to produce something. And in this case, we're talking about physical traits. So this could be eye color, hair color, etc. So how are you going to know what traits your Snork has? Well, if you scroll down, you've got your DNA of your Snork here. And I did the first line for us just to get us started. But essentially, the main thing to notice is you're taking DNA and you are transcribing it or making a copy, like to transcribe means to write. You're making a copy of it into messenger RNA, mRNA. So that way it can travel outside the nucleus and go start forming those proteins. And so this is like think of it like a paper airplane with a secret message on it. You can throw it across the room, your friend can catch it, and they can read your message, right? That's what mRNA is. So if you'll notice, they should match up correctly. So G always bonds with C, so we're good there, and G bonds with C. A would normally bond with T in DNA, but this case it's RNA, so we've got our U here instead. C and G, G goes with C, C goes with G, another C, another G, G and C, and C and G. So you can see how it gets a little repetitive, but we're talking about a 4-letter, well, technically 5-letter alphabet if you include the uracil and thymine together. So you're going to end up using the same letters over and over, but in different combinations, they spell different things. So that's our first step. We've made our copy. And if you are having trouble recalling what we're talking about, let me show you this picture. This is what happens whenever we make proteins. We have our DNA here. We break apart that strand and we make a copy, and that becomes our messenger RNA. That AUG right here is then going to pair up with the matching letters on this amino acid here. And so if we had an A, we would expect this one to have a U. And if that U is there, then we expect this to have an A. And then with that G, we would expect it to have a C, right? So this would be UAC on the top of this. They don't show you in the picture, but that's what is attached to that amino acid, so it knows where to plug in correctly. And then these amino acids would string together and they would make a protein. Okay, so let's go back. So we have one more row to do. And so that C, we're looking for a matching G, and then another G. That U should be matching with an A. That G will be with a C. That C matches a G. We have two G's, so that gives us two C's. Then we have a C with a G, and then that last G up on the second line will pair with a C. And at this point, I find it much helpful for my brain to break them into threes, because that's what we call a codon. It's a sequence of three nucleotides, 3 letters, and that is where we kind of start to see our breakdown into amino acids. So it helps to have them broken down for me already. Okay, so we have GGA, so we're going to go up to our amino acid chart. We're going to start on the left, just like left to right, and we have G down here. Our second letter was also a G, so that means first letter G, it's going to be in this row here. Second letter G, it's going to be in this column here. It's going to be where they come together. So we're looking here because that's where both of our G's come together. And then we're looking, and that just narrows it down so you don't have to look through all of them. GGA, all right, looks like it codes for abbreviation GLY, that's short for glycine. Don't worry, I will never ask you to memorize the amino acid names. I just think they're fun. And nothing wrong with that. So if you want to, you can join me. All right, our next code is CGC. So if we go up here, C, and then again, G is our last column, so we're looking where those two come together. So C is all the way over, and G is down here. So CGC, our code is ARG, and that stands for arginine. Fun tip, all amino acids end in INE because they are nitrogen-based, and that clues you into the fact that you're talking about an amino acid or a protein. If they were sugars, they end in OSE, like glucose, fructose, all of that. Okay, our last code again is CGC. Well, we just did that one, so it's probably going to be ARG, but let's just double check. C to G, and they come together in this box. CGC, it is arginine again. All right. Big surprise, huh? Okay, so arginine is our last one. We have glycine, arginine, arginine, or gly-arg-arg. That's our 3 amino acid sequence. We're going to go over here and look down here. Do we see anything with gly-arg-arg? Well, there's gly-arg-lyse, gly-arg-his, okay. Gly-arg, oh, leucine, nope, gly-arg-arg. Oh, our Snork has wide, round eyes. And so we fill in wide, round eyes. All right, so that's the first trait of your Snork that you've discovered. You have 5 more. So there's 1, 2, and then scroll down 3, 4, 5. And then this is the fun part. You are going to get to draw your Snork. And I kind of did a sample here. You're going to do a much better job, but you have touch screens now, so you can actually do this. So what you will do, instructions here, you'll just make sure you click in this box somewhere so it knows where to put your drawing, and we can get rid of my old one. But you click in that box, and then you are going to go up to the menu in Google or in Docs, click Insert, Drawing, and then click on New. And I'm not going to do it because it kind of takes over the screen, but that will let you draw that picture, and then you just pick Save and Close, and it will put your picture in here, and we can see your little baby Snork that you made. All right, I hope that helps and gives you a run through. Let me know if you get stuck, but this should make it fairly easy. And I wish you the best of luck, and have fun drawing with your new touch screens.